Hello, and welcome to this overview of the Texas Higher Education Coordinating Board podcast by Amanda Hurd for High Ed 5365. It is July 2016. To begin with, a little bit about the board, which is also called the Co-Board, is that the Texas Higher Education Coordinating Board was created in 1965 by the Texas Legislature to oversee all post-secondary public institutions in the state of Texas. It is made up of 9 trustees appointed to 6-year terms by the Governor of Texas. The board meets 4 times a year to conduct their activities and fulfill their roles and responsibilities in overseeing higher education. A little bit of history about the creation of the Texas Higher Education Coordinating Board is interesting, and in particular to us as students of Sam Houston State University, because Sam Houston State Teachers College played a role in the creation of Texas Higher Education Administration as it exists today. In May of 1961, Rupert C. Coninger, a professor at Sam Houston State Teachers College, was dismissed from his position as department chair of the sociology department, which he had held for several years. And this was due to pressure placed on the SHSTC president Harmon Lohman by the Texas State Teachers College Board of Regents and some right-wing politicians who disapproved of Coninger's stance on civil rights. The Texas Association of College Teachers censured Sam Houston State Teachers College and President Lohman, and soon after, the American Association of University Professors placed the college on its list of censured administrations. Other Texas lawmakers, including Charlie Wilson, joined the fight for reform in Texas higher education, and the Texas Higher Education Coordinating Board was formed in 1965 as the governing body overseeing all Texas higher education institutions. Public institutions, that is. It is the mission of the board to promote accessible, affordable, and high-quality education to Texas residents that is cost-effective and strives to make Texas a leader in providing an educated workforce that can compete both nationally and internationally in the global market. The core values of the board are accountability, efficiency, collaboration, and excellence. The roles and responsibilities of the board include 1. Coordination. The board works with lawmakers and develops long-term plans for Texas higher education and reviews and approves academic and technical degree programs within the state. Information. They provide information for state policymakers and the public. There are a wealth of resources which we'll cover a little later in the podcast, that are available to public institutions, to the public itself, a wealth of information that we'll get to and touch on a little later on. And then administration. The board is responsible to administer state and federal programs such as the Henson Hazelwood Student Loan Program, Graduate Medical Education Grant Programs, Perkins Technical Vocational Funds, and etc. The resources that are provided by the board include a variety of resources such as profile reports, data on statewide higher education, institutional resumes, higher education locator map, and other such resources for financial planning, such as financial planning templates and program funding estimation tools. There is a wealth of information on laws, grants, governing board member training, etc. Anyone interested in finding out more about the Texas Higher Education Coordinating Board will find more than they could possibly read and go through available at the website, which I will provide at the end. and there is just a great deal of information that is available to anyone who seeks to use it. Speaking of the board's strategic plans for higher education, we come to a plan that was titled Closing the Gaps. Closing the Gaps is a strategic plan that was adopted by THECB in October of 2000, and it covered the strategic plan of Texas higher education for the years of 2000 to 2015. The plan was to close the gaps between the workforce needs and education, as well as between Texas and other states in higher education completion. The intended goals, there were intended to achieve 4 goals by 2015 within the plan, and those were to improve student participation throughout the state, to increase student success, to encourage excellence, and to promote research. This plan has been viewed as highly successful and achieving large strides in all goal areas. And building up on the success of that plan, we come to 60x30 TEX, which is Texas Higher Education Coordinating Board's new strategic plan for 2016 through 2030. And Texas's new long-term strategic plan for higher education. As the title reflects, the primary goal of the plan is to have 60% of 25 to 34-year-old Texans completing certificates or degrees by the year 2030. This is a bold goal because currently only 38% of Texans in this age bracket have a degree or a certificate. The plan also includes 4 primary areas related to the goals, which are credential attainment, degree completion at Texas institutions of higher education, which includes an increase in Hispanic, African American, male, and economically disadvantaged graduates during that time. It also includes a goal for marketable skills development, in which all institutions must identify marketable skills that students gain by program, and what marketable skills each student will achieve by going through each program. Student debt is also addressed in the plan. Student debt will not exceed 60% of the first year wages upon graduation of the student. That is the goal, that student debt will not exceed 60% of first year wages when that student does complete their credential, whether it be a certificate or a degree. The Higher Education Coordinating Board has also shown a great dedication to the improvement of developmental education in the state of Texas. The THECB set out a goal of transforming developmental education in the state by the fall of 2017 to significantly improve the success of underprepared students through the use of individual diagnostic assessments and non-traditional instruction methods. This dedication also includes the creation of statewide professional development programs and an online referral system for students who need adult education and literacy services. What has come along with many of these developments and these plans that the Texas Higher Education Coordinating Board has set, the goals that they have set for the state and for higher education within the state, has come with some scrutiny of doctoral programs throughout the state. Along with the Closing the Gaps plan, back around 2005, 2006, the THECB also raised the bar, so to speak, on doctoral education programs in Texas by imposing more rigorous demands that restricted the creation of new doctoral programs while scrutinizing poorly performing programs. Now, some people believe that this increased demand for accountability in doctoral education was an attempt by the coordinating board to transition, or by the commissioner of the coordinating board, to transition Texas to a system that is much like a system that is in place in California, where doctoral education is essentially restricted to one university system, which is the University of California system. And other university systems in that state have kind of been pushed out, only being allowed to offer baccalaureate and master's degree plans. And this caused a great deal of concern in Texas, and over the years, since these plans have been put in place, we have seen more scrutiny on doctoral programs, and it is more difficult to establish new doctoral programs within the state. Here is a list of references. There is a great deal of information, including the reports on both Closing the Gaps, the strategic plans on the 60X30TX. They are all available on the Texas Higher Education Coordinating Board's website, which is there at the bottom. You can see is www.thecb.state.tx.us. I would encourage anyone who's interested in learning more or just expanding what it is that you already know about the board to visit the website and take a look around and see the wealth of information that is available there for you. And thank you.